Greetings and salutations.
Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is After the Bars podcast, and it's the Afternoon Mayhem show. I don't know what we're going to call it, but I'm here just to talk about a couple of things, just to check in on you guys and to see how everyone is doing. I know yesterday I did a show where I said Diddy is probably going to be out by Christmas, and that still may be, but there is a but, and this might be good news, I know, especially for my community, because I know my community has really been felt betrayed by the old justice system. Right after we got a big win with Karen Reed, but also it's a loss because the real offender, or we'll just call it what it is, murderer of John O'Keefe, is still out there at large. So the justice system is failing us, I mean, really right now. And but I think we might have a win in the Diddy case. I don't know. I have a theory. I'm going to run it by you guys, and you guys tell me what you think. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,
Wake up, Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the wind's still low. This is Morning Mayhem, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sherry LeBron. I really love that song too. Yeah, I hit it and it didn't go immediately, so I hit it again. Then it came and went and came and back, and then it played. But that's good. So it's so good to see everybody. Hey, Sheldub. Hey, Sherry. How are you doing? Kim, how are you doing this afternoon? John Lazon is in the house. Lena Rundell, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Who else may be here? Incarnaso, good to see you. Toby Sprosty. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining the chat today. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to just jump right into it. We're not going to wait for people to get here. I will hang out with you guys at the end. I don't want to lose my train of thought. And what my train of thought is that I was going over some of the transcripts, and some of the transcripts, the judge seemed like when they first got the verdict, it seemed like he was ready to release Diddy, and because of the language that he used with his lawyers. And basically what he said, so I'm assuming you guys are going to want to let Mr. Combs want to go to get out today. And, and they all said yes. He's like, okay, present your briefs, yada, yada, yada. But it sounded pretty positive. Like he was thinking, yeah, all the big charges that he was holding him for, all the charges with the violence that he was holding him for, those were no longer the prostitution charges, which really he didn't have a big part in that, even though he does know about all his violence on paper and legally, he can't use that against him. So I know I still got this stupid nail polish on for my daughter, but it's disappearing. Every day as we speak, I can be peeling some off. Anyways, everyone was quite confident, including Diddy and including his lawyers, and his lawyers aren't dumb. They've been a part of this legal system for a long time. And they were, hey, Shannon Trim, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. They're a big part of this system for a long time, and they were pretty confident he was going to get out yesterday. And then we all know what happened. The judge came back and denied it. And I have some theories on that. And I think you guys are going to like one of my theories. And one of my theories is, and this comes from an educated background, theory, speculation. And this wouldn't even be a conspiracy thinking. This is grounded in history and in knowledge and just the way that the judges work and the prosecutors work. And I don't know. Let's listen to a little bit of this report from yesterday when Diddy received some information that he was hoping to get out.
Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail after the verdict in his sex trafficking
Can I get a
case.
5x5?
Here's how he took the news. According to NBC News reporters in the courtroom, Combs appeared, quote, deflated as his hopes of going home were seemingly dashed as his lawyers attempted to convince Judge Aaron Subramanian to release their client ahead of his sentencing. In his ruling, Subramanian cited Combs' years-long pattern of violence as a reason for him to remain behind bars, adding that he continues to be a danger to others and unable to follow the law. Arguing that Combs, who pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, as well as transportation to engage in prostitution, was acquitted on the three most serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, and only convicted of prostitution-related offenses. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo insisted he should be released on appropriate conditions. As Agnifilo outlined, Combs would be willing to put up a $1 million cash bond, co-signed by his mom, Janice Combs, his sister, Keisha Combs, and Sarah Chapman, the mother of Combs' eldest daughter, Chance Combs, and have no access to his private plane, which is currently grounded in Maui. He also agreed to surrender his passport, undergo drug testing, and restrict travel to areas of New York, Florida, and California as necessary to attend court and meet with lawyers. According to NBC News, Combs was passing notes to Agnifilo as the attorney spoke to the judge to argue for Combs' release. After Agnifilo finished, Combs raised his hand and started to get up, seemingly to speak. Agnifilo told the judge he would find out what Combs had to say, and Combs' attorneys rushed to speak with him. Ultimately, he did not end up saying anything. Combs will remain in jail until his sentencing, which is scheduled for October 3rd.
So what I feel happens, and Ralph Sanchez, I agree. We agree. This channel agrees. This community agrees. He wasn't innocent. Prosecution was weak. It's a shame how some folks can root for the bad guy like they would in a movie. Shake my head. This isn't a movie. Actual lives were affected by this person. Yes, there were many victims, and we pray for those victims, and we pray for all the future victims that are going to be afraid to stand up and say that they are victims. We really are. It's a shame what is happening, but I think there might be some good news on the horizon. The one of the reasons why I feel, well, there's two reasons. All the situation with Diddy and BlackRock and how he cost them like over $20 billion in asset shares when he sued them, or he called them racists. And he really affected that's how much power Diddy had with that brand, Ciroc, and the companies and the shareholders that owned Ciroc. He really affected their that company, and the company, I mean, it's still alive, but it lost $20 billion. And these are companies that own about 95% of the Forbes 500 top 500 companies. That's not an exaggeration. About 95% of those companies. Now, I think it would be pretty easy for someone who's connected to someone who's connected to someone who's connected to someone to make a call and say, hey, don't let this predator out. That's one theory. and the theory that I would bet my life on, just say like, hey, say if there was a situation where, some bad guys, were holding me and my family, and they were saying like, look, we're going to unalive your family unless you tell us what is going to happen. I would bet my life and my family's life, for a theory, that this theory had the best chance of winning. And that is that there's superseding indictments heading down the path that are coming, superseding indictments that are probably going to lock him up forever. There's so many more victims out there. There's so many more witnesses out there that they didn't use, that they're probably saying, you know what? Let's supersede an indictment. Let's put it together. Let's build a stronger case. We know how these juries are carrying us. We'll try to pick a stronger jury that's, more pro prosecution. There's lots of things they can do, but the main thing they can do to hurt Diddy is to keep him in until those superseding indictments come. I believe that in my heart of hearts, that's what's going to happen. The KPNAZ says, is it just me, or does anyone feel like the government just wanted a copy of those tapes? Prosecution could have done a better job and not drop some charges. I think they dropped the charges. The charges they dropped, I think they just didn't want to confuse the jury and give them too much to look at. They wanted to keep it cut and clean, and they thought they had him on the RICO. Like, in general, a RICO is not a hard case to understand and to prosecute, but they just put too many victims up there that still had a relationship with Diddy after the crimes were made. And as I said yesterday, they couldn't explain trauma bonding. They just couldn't. They weren't allowed to. They were blocked from doing it. And I think this time they can figure out a way to introduce all of that. They can introduce some victims that don't have a relationship with Diddy, except for the event of being hurt, of being preyed upon, of being R-worded, of being SA'd, of being all the things. And so I do think that's what's going to happen. I think there's some superseding indictments. Like, look, I've seen it happen with lesser bad guys than Diddy, where they filed superseding indictments while the person was let out, and 2 days later they were superseded. I've seen it happen, and I've talked about this before, where guys have rebuilt their lives and started construction companies and then superseded some new indictments after they were let go. So it's not like it's something that would be rare, or it'd be something that they would do specifically for Diddy, like he's a special case. No, it's something that is common everyday procedure. And I'm telling you, these prosecutors, these U.S. attorneys, they do not like to lose. The government does not like to lose. And I don't think that they are going to stand for this. Having said that, I think he'll be out by Christmas if they don't do a superseding indictment. But it doesn't mean that they can't have a superseding indictment in 5 months from now, or while he's in prison serving this 24-month to 30-month sentence. It doesn't mean that can't happen. I don't know, guys. Something's got to happen, though. Something has to happen. He can't go free. He can't. He's a monster, and we know it, and everyone else knows it, and everyone's sad that that he's didn't get found guilty. But I think the U.S. attorneys have something up their sleeves. I really do. I truly, truly do. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Thanks for the comment, KP and AZ, and Mr. Sanchez or Mrs. Sanchez. I'm sorry, I didn't see the first name. Hey, Rosanna Dana, it's good to see you. It's been a long, long time. Ben Bacon Bits, good to see you. Sharona, good to see you. Why so long for sentencing? So they do a thing called a pre-sentence investigation. So basically, someone from probation and parole comes in and interviews you, and they do an interview. They do your history, they get references. They talk to your family, and they do this big long investigation, and it's never nice. It's not like something that they do to praise you. They're not going to say, oh, he was, great for hip hop, and, has built this, Fortune 500 company, and, and he's a billionaire. Well, he says he's a billionaire. He's up there, but I don't think he's quite a billionaire yet. And let me plug in my thing real quick. Hold on, guys. I just want to plug it in because my connection's kind of bad. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel to grow bigger and better and more diverse. Not that weird, creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. You want to hear some Samsplaining? Just like the video down below. All right, that's sorry about that, guys. They do this pre-sentence investigation, and did I get it plugged in? They do a pre-sentence investigation, and it takes about 90 days. So it'll be about October before he gets sentenced, and we'll get some more information before then. And sometimes it takes 4 months, but the minimum is about 90 days to get sentenced in the feds. And they're going to file all kinds of sentencing memorandums. His attorneys are going to file a bunch of sentencing memorandums. The prosecutor is going to file sentencing memorandums, and they're going to fight back and forth on his guidelines. They're going to try to enhance him as much as they can legally with the enhancements that I talked about yesterday. But if there's a coercion enhancement, if they would have found him guilty of coercion, then he would have been busted on the sex trafficking. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. The Diddy's attorneys have a really good argument against it. So the PSI is what they call it, the pre-sentence investigation, or PSR. Districts call it differently. Can be a battle sometimes. I know I battled mine. Mine was nuts. But in the end, I got the best sentence I could get after my PSR. KPNAZ says even Gene Deal said he thinks Homeland Security went in because they just wanted those tapes, and then they were hoping to take his money. I was really disappointed he wasn't charged with more. Yeah. Me too. Question: what does the superseding indictment mean in crayon terms? A superseding indictment just means a new indictment, more charges. So basically, they take all the charges they have, and then they just add to it. And what they'll do is they'll refile the charges they think with new superseding indictments that'll have, stronger evidence, because they can still refile the RICO. They can add charges to the RICO. They can add elements to the RICO. There's all kinds. They have all kinds of options. So I don't think we should give up hope yet. I know I'm not. I know these U.S. attorneys are going to feel like, especially with all the celebrating going on, they're going to feel like, you know what, you think you're getting out, and they're going to, want those fans that are like, cheering for Diddy and being so disrespectful to the victims. They're going to be like, you know what? We got something for you. And what we have are superseding indictments. Yep. Don't let Diddy out. He is a monster, Slim J. And welcome to the show. Hey, V. McWilliams. So good to see you. I'm glad you're here. John Lazan says, Sam, he has a 14 plus 2 plus 5 plus for violence on Cassie's video. Judge can give him max to 10 years plus 10 years. That's what he can give him 10 years. But he has to score out on the guidelines for those 10 years. He can do it, but he has to have a really good reason for an upward departure of the guideline range. I know it sucks. It's what our system is. But the max they can do is give him 10 years on that. I'm stunned too, V, that people were cheering for him. There were people like arguing, getting in like physical altercations about it. It was disgusting. It really is disgusting. Yeah, Kim's like, it's bad when you got to put the white noise on. He is demonic, Hattie Connie, for sure. I was thinking the same thing, Toby. Toby says they should have brought more witnesses that can prove drug charges and RICO. They got him on the violence, but need more on all the other. Yeah, I mean, there was so many people that they gave not immunity, but they didn't indict because they needed them for the drug witnesses. There's so much more they can do. They could do an indictment, a conspiracy to traffic because it was all over state lines. They brought drugs from one state to another. There's so much they could do with the drugs. And those conspiracy laws are pretty lenient in the Fed. So basically what they could do is they could say, they could do a drug conspiracy where all they need is two people to say, yeah, I sold him drugs. I bought drugs from him. Or he had me go get drugs for him. There's a ton they can do. A ton. Caddy Connie and Lamadlina, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like it's been years since I've gotten a super chat, so thank you so much. Diddy is a demonic monster, and these jurors with no empathy just stomped on the victims. It makes me totally sick. The good Lord will take care of him. In the end, we can always rely on that, right? That God will judge him as he needs to be judged. Yeah, we would like for God to make some things happen down here so we can all, revel in him being in prison for a very long time. And, knowing that he will just be a sobbing bitch and just cry like a baby when it happens. And, yeah, it would be awesome. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Hey, Be Happy. It's good to see you. Karma gets all fools. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know I took a break from it too. Be Happy. I don't know if you're a regular listener or subscriber, but yeah, I took a big break too from him. I didn't cover not one day of his trial, not one day. But I did at nighttime watch all the recaps so I could be informed when the verdict came in and when sentencing happens. Hey NorCal, thanks for joining the show. NorCal 530 says Usher should have told how Diddy turned him out when he was underage. I mean, of course, there's all of that, right? But I think ego keeps Usher and possibly Bieber. We don't know that for sure. But we do, right? I think we kind of do. I think we do know that this predator did that. He's a creep. He's a sexual deviant. Um, Kim says, I watched it all in spurts. I think overdid it. Yeah. I want to say no. I want to say he won't have to register as a sex offender. I could totally be wrong though. I really could be wrong. I will look it up. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. Why not? Because all I know is that, you know, if you mess with kids in the feds, that you do have to register. No, he will not have to register. So I was right. No, Diddy's convictions under the Mann Act for transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution would not require him to register as a sex offender. And it says, why not? It says, because there's a tiered offense system. Tier 1, least severe, requires 15 years of registration and annual updates. Tier 2 and 3, more serious. Yep. And Diddy's charges were under the tiers. He was convicted of 2 counts under the Mann Act, transporting consenting adults for prostitution, no minors involved, and not classified as sex trafficking or sexual assault. So there you go. He won't have to register as a sex offender, and not as a violent offender either. I know, it's totally crazy, right? It's totally crazy. It blows me away. It absolutely blows me away. You just need to widen my picture out a little bit. What else do we got going on in the chat? If you really want a comment or question answered by me as best as I can, put a CCC or a QQQ. I am catching some that don't have it. And I know sometimes you guys are just asking the chat. This is the smartest chat, I think, on YouTube. So someone normally will be able to answer your questions. If not, they'll be able to look it up and get you an answer if I can answer it. I would like to think there's nothing out there I can't answer. Right. At least when it regarding the federal system, there's not much. And there might be some things that I might be not sure on, but if I go with my gut, and my first instinct, just knowing how the feds, work, I'm probably going to get it right. But I'll always double check. And if I ever get it wrong and I check and it was wrong, I'll let you guys know that I effed up. Happy birthday, John. It's John's birthday. And hey, John, James Collins Cares. Good to see you. John's birthday. Did I know that? Oh yeah. I think I did know that. He told me yesterday. Yes. Happy birthday, John. That's amazing. I don't know why my connection is so bad. I'm connected right into my router. Let's see what else. KP and AZ says just a guess, but I think the judge will wear on the sentences concurrently and give him 10 years with time served. Yeah. I don't think he'll get 10 years just because I know how he's going to score, and he has no prior criminal history. If this was the state, I would say, yep, absolutely. They're going to say, you know what? We couldn't get you on all the other charges, but I'm going to get you at sentencing. But there's rules in the feds, and they stick to those rules because, you know, we need them to stick to the rules. You know, I mean, in case we're ever in the feds, and you know, there's some, you know, something, you know, maybe a judge or a prosecutor has a personal vendetta against you or me if we ever end up in front of a judge. I know I won't ever end up in front of a judge again. They've scared the shit out of me. I'll never go back. Yo, Sam, you look much happier, more content these days. Thank you so much. Hey, Teresa, Therese, thank you so much. Yeah, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I feel confident for the channel. It's been growing this past week at a pretty good clip, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited for the future, and for all of us, for the community, for the channel. Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Comment from John: 14 plus 2 plus 5 for violence. There was no violence. He didn't get convicted for any violence. It was just what I just read, the prostitution, the Mann Act, transporting consenting adults for prostitution, no minors involved. There was no violence at all. They can talk about it in the PSI, and the judge could give him the high end of the guideline, which is, I think, 27 months. Now he can depart from that, and there are things called enhancements that could give him, I think the worst case scenario is like 34 months is what they can give him. So be happy, says Sam is a good person if I know anything. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Man, I try, and it's not hard. It's not hard to try to be better and to be honest and as authentic as we can be, you know. But I pray about it, you know, because, you know, I do live in the flesh, and you know, I spent a good portion of my adult life being an addict, and but I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Right. He can remember what he did, but he can't give him the max, John. There's guidelines. There's guidelines he has to go by, and it's not a minimum mandatory. I know what you're saying, bro. I totally know what you're saying, but he just can't do it. He doesn't score high enough in the guidelines. He's a 1 in the criminal history. I know, brother. It sucks. It sucks. That's why I did the video. He could be out by Christmas. That's still the case, but it doesn't mean they could, to really F with him, they could let him out. You know what I mean? They could have him do his time, let him out, and lock him up right there at the gate. That's what I would do to him. Make him think he's getting out because of all the shit that he's getting away with. If I was a U.S. attorney, that's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, you think you're going to be free, and then as soon as he gets out that gate, lock him up. I've seen it happen. It's cray. Yeah, that would be torture, and that's exactly what he deserves. It's exactly what he deserves. So, well, guys, I thought a little bit. You know, I was praying this morning, and some things I thought about some things, and I really think there's going to be some superseding indictments. I really do. I know, right, NorCal? Yeah, this would be the first time I've ever rooted for a U.S. attorney ever. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I would do petition work for him if I had to. I would do all kinds of stuff. If I had to thank you so much, V. I appreciate that. Hey guys, we're missing 23 likes. Please, it really helps the channel. It helps push the video out there. And I really appreciate it. Don't make me play my like video again. Thank you so much, V. I appreciate that. Well, guys, I think that's it. It's the holiday week for us. We're gonna go to my mother-in-law's tonight. That should be exciting. And so Hazley can play in the pool. It's pretty hot here. Oh yeah, Cassie is freaking out right now, V. Absolutely freaking out. Definitely praying for all the victims, KP and AZ, and that's all we can do. Yep, Lynn, absolutely right. He cut a deal. Judge is scared to death with this beast because there's so many eyes on him. There's so many eyes on him. All right, guys. Well, happy 4th of July. I know it's not till, I know we have a couple of days, or no, is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Oh yeah, it is tomorrow. Happy 4th of July, guys. Yes, I will be doing a show tomorrow. It'll be a 4th of July special. We're going to do, we'll think of something cool. If you guys have any suggestions, send me an email. I have all the emails open right now to respond to. And if it's something good, I'll do it. I'll do it on whatever you guys would like me to do it on. Thank you, Tree Snores. I really appreciate the like. And remember, we got a handshake deal. If you guys watch the show more than a couple of times, man, please subscribe. It helps the algorithm. The likes help the algorithm. Any kind of interaction with the video helps the algorithm to get the show out there, especially when we talk about things like this. YouTube really doesn't like to push it out, you know, if I don't have a ton of subscribers. But, you know, likes and subscribes, new ones, get the video pushed out, and that'll help our community to build it stronger, better, more diverse. And that's what we're looking for. All right, guys. Well, you guys have an amazing 4th of July, and I will see you tomorrow if I don't see you tonight. I know I always say that. I plan on it, but you never know. I might do a surprise show. Bye, guys. Mihalo. And be kind to yourselves.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay away.